This time I am making chicken enchilada casserole. This is a picture of the ingredients that I used. I did end up adding some diced green chilies in the end as well too, because I like adding those to it. Yummy. So the first thing I did that you're watching me do right now is heating up tortillas. They're the raw type. Oh, they're so delicious. They are so good. So they're the raw cooked to order in quotes types, and I'm just cooking them on my griddle because I could do 2 at a time, and it's really easy for me to do that. And the recipe calls for 12 8-inch tortillas. I will shamelessly admit that I misread the instructions for how many of these we needed, so I only made 8. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so next up what I ended up doing was I cut the 8 out of the 12. I should have had tortillas in half, and then I chopped up a bunch of chicken thighs that I had cooked in the oven at 425 for about 20 minutes. I have found that that cooking chicken at a higher temperature yields a juicier and more tender and easy to eat piece of chicken. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna go with it. And the knife I'm using is outdated and it didn't hold up very well. It's only a few years old, and it gets used so often, and it's supposed to be a ceramic knife, but yet somehow it's just ceramic coated. But Jesse is helping me out with this as well, because I was kind of like stressing out a little bit because I kept going back and reading the recipe and being really confused about it, and especially when it came to laying out the tortillas. Like, to me, the 4 that I have here are perfectly fine, yet the directions were telling me like you should be layering them 6 at a time, or 6 at a layer. So I kind of just winged it after that. I honestly feel like it probably didn't really matter. The 4 would have been perfectly fine. And then I just kept trying to follow the directions to the best of my ability. And for some reason, just reading this recipe was not agreeing with me. I really don't know what it was, but both me and Jesse were kind of frustrated while reading the instructions. And then looking back afterwards, yes, there was some miscommunications with the layers and the wording of the layers, but I think overall it wasn't really that bad of an instruction type thing that was going on. It was definitely user error on our part. So we only ended up having 3 layers, which for us was perfectly fine because, you know, we ended up using up everything just as well. And my cat wants to join in on this too. But you'll see that, you know, we're just trying to be a team and, you know, put this together to the best of our ability. And as the layers get taller, you could tell that we definitely used an appropriate amount of tortillas, the amount that was suggested. And then we also didn't end up using all of the green enchilada sauce. That could have been because we didn't end up having as many layers. But either way, I think the end result still came out appropriate. We did end up having, as you can see, everything kind of just on that top layer and then smothering it with cheese. And because I had gotten so frustrated, cat hair everywhere, with the recipe by this point, we kind of just put the cheese on top, called it a day, stuck it in the oven, didn't bother actually putting that piece of foil that the recipe calls for on top, and we also kind of didn't really care. But we did wait to put the olives on until like the last minute or 2, which I think would have made a difference had we actually put the foil on top of the casserole dish. But either way, we're imperfect human beings, and it still came out delicious in the end. So, yeah, so make sure you read the recipe over before you attempt to do this. I kind of just like dove head first, and if you read the instructions and watch the video, you'll see that it shows. So either way, I get to make some really yummy chicken tacos in the end. So yay! It's like an enchilada.
Yeah, that's what I think too. So my question is, what's the difference in the prep work? Enchilada is slightly more tedious, but might be a little easier. I don't know.
I like the chicken pie using that. I'm always happy adding green chilies to it.
Well, you can do all that to an enchilada too. I'm just thinking from a time perspective, ease of use perspective.
No, I definitely think this is easier.
Because it tastes like an enchilada. I actually might like it a little bit better than an enchilada, or maybe you just didn't use as much sauce as you use with enchiladas. Because I actually don't like a lot of green sauce. Enchiladas only have too much for me.
They have a lot, yeah. You don't have to write out.
Well, no, I understand.
Because I think overall I like it. I'm not a fan of how many black beans.
Oh. Doesn't make a difference to me. Ooh. Do you want to sit in your chair?
I have yogurt on your counter.
Lily, would you like me to get you up? No? Okay. You want Mr. Fox?
So overall, it's good. I feel like the olives should have gone on top at the beginning, but I also feel like the entire dish should just go in 100% assembled except for this turn topping with the green onions. Those things can stay off until you actually pull it out of the oven and you're ready to serve. The rest of it, I feel like you should just be able to assemble it and honestly use whatever type of ingredients you like in enchiladas. I like the chicken thighs. I think that adds a really, really nice flavor to it. Like dark meat, definitely in this. I used thighs since that's what I had on hand. I wasn't gonna go more chicken just for this, but and I used green sauce instead because that's what I had on hand as well. Overall, I like it. I would make it again. I would eat it again. I would do a few things different. I don't like how much black beans are in it. It's almost like it adds an extra starchy texture and flavor to it that I don't really care for. But I do like having at least some in there. Definitely not an entire can worth. I would probably end up making this instead of enchiladas. So
Maybe an 8-ounce can instead of a 15-ounce can? About half.
I don't think they make 8-ounce cans.
I don't like it. I'm getting more.